computer. So we're back again, and I didn't do anything this week. Oh, I forgot the first thing is I'm supposed to say, oh, as a reminder, if you go to the video and look down under the description under the YouTube video, we've got the video is indexed there, and then we've got links out to the composite index. It's got several years of the index. So you can go dig through there if you're looking for something specific, or just simply scroll through that to see what happened without watching all the videos. And there's a link to the original ROS agriculture indexing that I started. And as I just going through my settings, and it said something about show me when I talk. Well, it's not, I'm not showing up on my screen here, so I'll go look at that in a minute here. Um, and there's just a couple other links under the description down there. Um, And that's all I can think of to say. And since I don't have anything to do, we'll give Al a chance to tell us all the many things he did.
I'm just going to say we're going to give Al a chance to say, yeah, I didn't get much done either. Oh, wait a second. I don't know if I shared the right screen here. Where's that tag on it? Share button. Oh, I've got a second monitor hooked up. I need to. Can you see this Word document, me scrolling through it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, not much in the way of robotics. These are brass rod arms that connect to this magnetic thing for this XYZ manipulator that's supposed to measure things at a micron level. So I've been in the process of trying to build these. This is a picture from the YouTube video that the guy put out, and just in as a quick overview, there is you've got this what I call horn that holds the magnets, the two brass rods for each of the arms. This is a little collet that holds this piece of 3D printed device onto or up against the brass rod. So you've got in total 6 brass rods, 12 collets, 246 of these plastic things. So that's what I've been in the process of trying to 3D print and assemble. This is a 3D picture of the end connector, and he's used something called FreeCAD. I'm not familiar with FreeCAD, so I've been sort of stumbling my way around. 3D print these end connectors, put some super glue on that, and drop a ball bearing that's, I think mine are 1.25 millimeters in diameter, so they're really small. Handle those with a tweezer, printed off these, I call them collets. And then this is the way that it will fit together. The brass rod is meant to rotate on the small ball bearing. So the OD, the outside diameter on this brass rod is 2 millimeters. The inside diameter is meant to be a millimeter. So it's interesting to work with stuff so small. Get this plastic rubber band kind of stuff and put it around it, and that's the way it's all supposed to fit together. So I've started cutting my rods. I've got a jig to make the rod 72 millimeters long, and that's where I'm at. And a large hacksaw-like blade is making a bit of a mess, so I think I'm going to switch to a cutting wheel on the end of a Dremel device. So that's what I've been doing. I've also been fighting with my pump monitor. This is a Google spreadsheet that gets updated whenever there's a pump event, and so that makes one 60-second event. This makes a second 60-second event. I'm back in Texas and had to sort of reboot things. I'm still not quite sure why. Um, Back on the end of January, the 1st of February, we were turning the pump off due to the cold weather. So I guess maybe that may have screwed things up. So I've got some more debugging and hardening to do of that. So that's the only other thing on my agenda. Now that I'm back in Texas, I'm hoping to take a 12-volt pump that I bought and drop it 40 feet down into a well that was dug in 1924 and see if I can get some water out of it and have it tested to see if it could possibly be a low output solar powered well that could be a backup for my cows if I ever lost my main pump. But that's just like Jeff talks about a box full of, things I'm never going to get to. That's in my box of, we'll see if I get to it or not. That's it for me.
Test, test. Oh, now my screen is switching. So okay, I got that fixed.
I stopped sharing. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, I before it just wasn't switching. It wasn't showing me at all. Now I turned that on, and as soon as I started talking, it switched. And I think when you started talking, it switched to you. So I think it's back to where it's supposed to be again. Okay, Bob.
Um, some disappointments, some progress. Evidently, I went in with a wrecking ball and wrecked my um, motor controller. I think what happened was I was reading the instructions on how to connect the grounds between all the devices, and I may have connected um, what power ground to a logic ground, and it broke the motor controller. So I changed that out, and I'm using the MMD10, and everything seems to be working. Let's see. I'll get some pictures up here. Share the screen, broadcast, and where's my pictures? Whoop. It's supposed to be over in there. It is.
Bob, is it an MD10 by Cytron, however you say
Yes,
it?
it is.
Okay, got it.
Um, let's see what I right here. Um, I've been outside pretty much all day the day I did this, so I was pretty tired, not really aware of what I was doing. But you'll see a 0 volt and a 5 volt. My mistake was I thought that was a logic ground, and it's not. That was a system ground. So when I connected it, it broke something inside the, this motor controller. So then I switched over to the Cytron board. And this time I went real careful. I had a good night's sleep and I wrote everything down in minute detail and tried to color code as best as I could and then marked every wire and really taking a long time to get it right. So now I'm down to, it didn't hurt the second PCA board. And I just went real slow through the GPIO to confirm what was a board pin, what was a GPIO pin. And then I used Claude this time because I was having problems with Chat GPT. And they told me these are the wires I had to use, pin 12, et cetera, et cetera. And I worked on the program a little bit. And finally, he gave me a good report card. And you'll see I can control things from the terminal. So now with I'm on my laptop, wireless to our router, and then Ethernet to a port in the other bedroom. So I'm on Ethernet to the Raspberry Pi, and I have to SSH from the laptop into the Raspberry Pi over the land.
Is your Jetson Nano involved at all at this point? Or
No,
is
no, I'm just getting the Raspberry Pi working first.
so the
And
Pi's connected to your local network
by cable, by a Cat5.
Ethernet?
Yeah. And then the laptop is wireless to the router. And I'm able to make code changes and everything else that way. Let's see. Oh, this is resides on the laptop, and all the keys work. And let's see. So now I'm down to just one PCA board. That'll be the next thing I work on is the servos to control camera. Right now it's just um, the webcam servos. I have to add the servos for the other one. And I went to great pains to color code everything. And those are just jumper wires, but I had enough of them and I could maintain the color coding. So, and then I checked it out, and there's the test button, and it does turn on the motors. And I've got it hooked up. Took a long time and double check, triple check the connections on the GPIO. So it's going from the motor controller right to the Raspberry as far as the signals go. Let's see. I think next what I'll do is put it over by the laptop so you can see what's going on. Stop sharing. Okay, there we go. I'm moving it over to my work area. You can. Okay, there's the robot to the right, up on blocks, so the wheels don't engage with the floor. And I'll go over here to the laptop and exercise some of the keys. Like W is forward, and
Woohoo, you have wheels moving.
yeah, and I've got 5 speeds. That's low. That's the lowest one. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I can stop it at anywhere with that. Let's see. I can also change direction on the fly. So it's forward, back. And again, I can change speeds all the time. Right now I'm at a 10% current speed, which is supposed to be slow. And it's reading that I'm making a right turn while I'm doing 14% the power. Let's see, I'll see if I can get it over to the laptop screen so you can. No, that's not going to turn out very well. Okay, but anyway, now I work on a I'll work on the camera servos first, get that going, because that means I'll have to use the Raspberry Pi and directions from the Nano. And I'll have to use our Cat 6 cable to talk to each other, according to one of my programs I did. But that's about where I'm at. So I got something to play with.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And just a minor note, I noticed when you're showing everything, showing pictures of the robot, it was somewhat out of focus.
Oh,
And then when you moved it back to your face, it came back into focus. Is there something like, yeah, like you have like a macro function turned on or something? Is that
um,
maybe
I
why it's doing that?
don't know. I'll have to look at it. The
And
camera supposed to autofocus. Maybe I didn't give it enough time.
But every once in a while, it would try to jump onto something and lock onto it, but then most of the time it was out of focus. So,
Oh, okay.
and if you're curious about that, you can go back and watch the video when I get it posted and see
Yeah,
what.
I will. And see what I can do better.
I put two links in the chat for a Cytron 10 amp motor controller, but I don't think the first one is the one you actually have. So
No,
uh,
the first one was a Sabertooth 2x12 that I destroyed.
the other thing, do you have a fuse in between the battery and your uh, do you have a fuse anywhere in there in case you
No,
draw more than 10 amps?
no. I'll have to put one of those in there.
Yeah, I mean,
Good. Thanks for reminding me.
I have some of those.
Auto fuses?
Yeah, the blade fuse. I mean,
Yeah.
you can get a weatherproof deal, and you can just slip in whatever size you want. Because I have popped fuses with my motor before, and yeah, you don't want to blow out your. I don't know what you paid $20 or $30 for your motor driver.
No, it's been a while. I had it for a different project. And when I moved, I disassembled a lot of stuff and packed things away in boxes and components.
Do you mind going back to your wiring? Um,
Oh yeah.
so you have that PWM controller, 16 channel PWM controller. Is that in the loop on the motor controller, or the motor controller is
The
directly to the RPi?
motor controllers are directly to the GPIO on the Raspberry. Let's see if I can call them up here.
That was just that's all I was curious about.
Yeah, there's the connections from the MMD10.
Yeah, you're not sharing.
Oh, sorry. Um, come on. I'll share it.
It's not that big a deal, Bob. Don't worry about it.
Screen, start. Okay. Now, come on. There. Can you see that now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are the wires directly from the motor controller. And the program told me which pins to connect to. So I took a lot of time, made sure I understood the difference between board pins and GPIO pins. And I asked the program, what should I use? And I think it recommended using the GPIO designations. But then it also told me what the actual board pin number was. So that was a nice check. Let's see if I can get back over. Not that one. Oop, come on.
And so with that one, you only have one of those MDD tins, right?
Right.
Huh.
It's a dual channel.
Yeah, because when I heard dual channel, I think, oh, well, they just meant forward and reverse on one motor, but You're getting forward and reverse on two motors.
Yeah.
Nice.
The way that board is set up, um, up there at the white connector, it has a direction one and a pulse width modulation one, then direction two and PWM two.
Nice.
So it makes it pretty convenient. Well, it's a lot more easier to hook up than the other one. So I don't have any misunderstanding about where to put the ground. So that goes away. Here's the pins, pin numbers, and then alongside it says GPIO 17. That's supposed to go to DR1, et cetera, et cetera. So that was real helpful. And so this is next to I want to get the Raspberry Pi fully functional for servos before I do a whole lot with the Nano. And I went to great lengths to use my jumper wires and maintain the color code for the cable, which is about 2 feet long. And that's about it.
Good progress.
Yeah. Let's see. Stop share. Okay, there we go.
So on this new board, are you running that from that little PWM board, or is that running directly from the Raspberry Pi to get your PWM signals?
The motor controller is connected to the GPIO. The PCA board has nothing to do with the motor controller.
Okay.
So,
And just keep in mind whatever problems you're having originally with the PWM, jittering or whatever. I guess was that the RC servo was doing it. So it's going to probably affect it a little bit, but it may not be enough to really be a problem. So just if it's acting funny, keep in mind that might be that
yeah,
the PWM from the Raspberry Pi may not be as accurate as what you
oh,
prefer.
well, I'll be using the PWM on the PCA board, and in the past that held things pretty stable. It wasn't jittery.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Phase two. See how many more things I can blow up.
Eat that magic smoke.
Yeah, I didn't see any smoke. I just didn't, and I couldn't figure out why. So, but then Claude stepped me through a troubleshooting sequence to confirm that it had burned out. The terminals across the motor should have been in the hundreds of ohms, and it was only 75 ohms. So something shorted in there.
That suggestion from that program, if it was 100 ohms versus 75 ohms, that I might question that myself, but
No, it's well over 100, a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000.
okay.
So, but now today I have to stop everything, and I've been neglecting the outside work, so I got to go do that this afternoon. Temperature's up.
Yeah. So there's one more thing that I guess I did this week, and I thought I'd mention it. Random Nerd Tutorials sent me things. Oh, we've got our ebook on what was it? Building user interfaces? No, that's not what it was. Anyway, whatever it was, I thought, well, maybe I should get that because I'm too lazy to figure all this stuff out myself. And they had a markdown from like $35 down to $27 or something. and it was going to run out. It's probably expired by now, whatever it was. So anyway, I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and get that. So I went through the process, and it says put in your name and your email, and then it says it's going to cost me $27. And then there was a box that said, oh, if you click here, you can get access to all of our ebooks. And then they said, for instance, Arduino and ESP32 and 8266. And they listed two or three more things. I couldn't tell if that meant I was going to get everything I could see, or that um they're gonna give me the ones that they're telling me right there, and the one I really wanted. I wanted to get the one that was it's for programming the library to do the graphics on a LCD display, and that one they've got that one marked at $35. And I was thinking, well, if it really gives me all of them, that it's going to save money if I do that. And unfortunately, if I've already over the years I've bought three of the ebooks already, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen, and finally I decided, well, let me just try it. So I clicked on it, and it costs an extra $77, but it says you get all of the ebooks, which
Oh,
means which means I was going to get duplicates for the first three, and then the one I'm buying right now would be a fourth duplicate if I really did get all the books. And it turns out I went ahead and did that, and it popped up, and yeah, everything he's got like 13 different ebooks, and those all show up. So if you hadn't gotten any, that might be, you'd have to think about what you want to do. Oh, the other thing was it said, oh, by the way, you get all the ebooks for half off. And it could be because I was buying something under one of his special sales. And otherwise, I couldn't find any reference to that anywhere else other than on that checkout page. So that's just something I ran into. And so now I have access to all of the ebooks that he has. And I don't know if that'll give me any ambition to do anything or not, but so that I just thought I'd note that I did see that. Has anybody else bought any of those ebooks from Random Nerd Tutorials?
no, but could you make a list of what you bought?
I could, yeah. Let's see, can I just pull it up here? Uh, so if I'd say share my screen, let's see, is there anything on the screen I don't want out? No. Okay, so let's say share and say desktop one. That's probably not gonna work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. No work.
Because once I get in there, I'm gonna have to go log in and track them down. So
Yeah,
maybe I won't do that. So,
no,
but
that's
anyway, if you go to this page and say what's he call it, courses or something like that, and you pull it up there, it says here's the ones you can buy, and basically there's whatever
oh,
he shows you there. I ended up with one of everything. So
okay.
and the other thing is, I said I bought some before. He's got a deal if you buy one of his ebooks and then he updates it, makes a version two or version three. You can go back to this page and download the newest version of that. So
Nice.
that's just another thing that's handy to have. And if you look at it, he's got a lot of free stuff out there that does all the fancy. Oh, that one right there.
Yeah, I just pulled up. I
Oh,
mean, I really enjoy his web tutorials. I've never bought any of his books, but this one was $27 and it says similar to what Jeff said. You add 77 to that, so $100 or so. You get all of his stuff.
Yeah, so mine came to $104, and then I was really nervous because see right there it says, yes, I want to access all ESP32, ESP8266, ESP32 CAM, which I did want. The RPi Pico, I figured, well, I should get that. And I haven't done anything with MicroPython, so that's probably good to have that. And it says, and the Arduino ebooks. And the one I wanted was that LCD one, and it doesn't really fit under any category. So I thought, well, let me try it and see what it does. So
And the LCD one was this um that deal, controlling that.
no, that one on the right there says learn LVGL.
Oh, that little yellow board thing.
Well, either the yellow board thing or the one in the lower right hand corner. It's just
The
a
red one.
just a display. So and he goes through both. So he says if you scroll down, he'll probably show them connected. Say there's how you hook up the little board with about 1 million wires in between, or right above you got the yellow one. It's one of those displays, and on the back of it's got an ESP32 soldered right to it. Although I noticed by the time you're done, you end up with 3 I/O pins you can get to, and two of them are on a connector that are tied to the UART inside the ESP32. But I assume you can use those as just regular I/O. Then you got another connector that he calls I think it's temperature and something else, and it's just basically just a one wire interface going out. So technically, it looks like you only get 3 extra I/O pins on this thing. But so if I wanted to build a data logger for my temperature, I could hook one or more Dallas sensors to one of the I/O pins, and then it's also got a like a SD flash card socket on the back. So if you wanted to, you could read from the temperature sensors or write directly to the SD flash card. And then if you want, you can use the UART interface that's there. That'd be your other two more of your 3 pins that talk to it that way. Or you can probably go in over the Wi-Fi. Or I kept forgetting. Oh, you can go in through the USB interface and talk to it that way. So if you get that yellow board, it's like $19. And if you get it, if you get it with what they call the plastic case, so it's like some plexiglass that kind of you bolt the whole thing together and make it probably a little more rugged and protects it a little better. So if you get it with that, I think it's also you can also get it for $19, but you don't get as many of the jumpers. So he's got you can buy it with these little cables the board has like a JST or a mini JST, and then it breaks it out into the 4 DuPont jumpers. And if you buy just the board, you can get one for about the $19 that has the extra jumpers. Or if you get it you can get the board and the plastic case like thing, but it only comes with one of those jumpers. So you just have to dig through and figure out what you want. And then there's another one that says it's a 3.5 inch. These are 2.8 inch displays, or it says there's one that you can get a 3.5 inch one that looks the same way, and on the back it's got all the same parts, but it has a different driver chip on it. So instead of right there, it says the IL 19341 240 by 320 controller on it. And then if you get the other one, the 3.5 inch one from Amazon, it's 480 by 320. So it's got twice the horizontal resolution, but it's got a different controller chip on. And I'm gonna have to dig through this and see if that, he says, oh yeah, you can use that one too. Maybe I can, or maybe I can't. So I just have to sit down sometime and go through that. I was thinking it might be handy because, like he's showing the different things there. He's got a thing, he's got a little keypad and putting in a password or whatever. So basically, you could just use this as your user interface and then just connect it by your UART interface to another processor that you're talking to, or again, you can go over the Wi-Fi or whatever you want. So it might be handy for that. Just the fact you got a display on there and you can program it to do anything you want, and then it's got the touch screen. And I guess the one down below, the red one, I ordered a couple of those when I was looking at those making your own oscilloscope thing. So I've got a couple of those laying around, and I was looking at the yellow board that's just an all-in-one. And if you look at that, that seemed, I thought, well, it seems like a really good deal until I realized you can't get any I/O out of the thing. So you have to decide, is that worth your trouble to do that? So just scroll down a little bit. Do they show you the back of the board?
I'm not seeing it.
Okay. Oh, if you go to Amazon, it'll show you the front and the back and show you what's on the thing. And so it's a real cute little setup the way they got. And the reason they don't give you any I/O pins because it takes like 10 wires to run that LCD display or something. And then it's also got that SD flash card on there, which I think is using an SPI interface. So it's using like four to six I/O pins for that. So that's why you don't end up with actual usable I/O pins that you can do anything with. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that they had that deal where that's the first I realized you could get the whole package. And if I would have realized it before I bought anything, the one you had pulled up that said it was $77, is that it is was
I
that
just, it was the home automation when I just clicked on that for the chuckles. Um,
okay?
it was this one.
And I did notice that some of this stuff, because I did get that one too. In fact, I got all of those, and I was thinking that maybe it said it was 77 as opposed to 150 because I was buying this other one as the markdown. It's a flash sale or whatever he's calling those. And but it looks like here, no, they are coming up. And I don't think his stuff works quite right anyway, but it's as long as he's making money, he's probably not going to worry about it too much. So I was thinking if I really want to do this, find the if you want to take it full advantages, go through the list and find the cheapest one you can find. He had one that's like $19 or something. So if you'd buy that one, and it gives you the option to get the rest of them. So basically, it looks like in order to get all of them, you have to buy at least one book to do that. But if you'd buy the cheapest book, which I think was $19, and that might be the one that was I can't remember which one they are right now. Since you're in there, if you go to the top where the tabs are, and well, maybe you've been there already anyway. I don't see the tabs there. Blah, blah, blah. I just because there's a page that just lists them, right down, so it shows you what all of them are as you go through there. So
Yeah,
under
here's
like
tabs.
course, get courses at the top. Clear up one more. If it, so that is that was the list of ebooks, and then it shows you if you just scroll down, it shows you each one. And after I basically got something that looked like this when I was all done, and I
Oh,
thought,
there you
well,
go. $18. See
yeah,
if you can
I'll just click on that and see what it says.
uh,
And that did say it was
no, no, it's not there, my man.
no,
There's no special deal.
oh, okay. So I don't know. So anyway, that's things you can look at and play with if you really want to. But and the other thing was, as I went through this, it popped up and said, I think the credit card company said, "Oh, this is an international payment." And a long time ago, I ran into a case. I think when I was buying the boards from the F9P boards from RG Simple, I think it said that was an international fee, and either PayPal or my credit card or somebody charged me like an extra $10 or something because it was an international payment. But I looked at this one real hard. I didn't see any extra payments on it. If you delete some of those,
Yeah, I was looking for a delete deal, but not see if there's a cart something at the top. Oh, move.
oh, right there, there's a blue line on the top that says click here to edit your card or remove product.
Yeah,
There you go.
I had to get my shirt out of the way. Now, where do you want to go?
I was thinking if you add that $18 book again, just to see if if you have just one thing you're ordering, maybe it'll give you the deal. I don't know. And he even claims well, he claims right there it's on sale because he says it was like 24, now it's 18. So that's one of these deals. So if you go say proceed to checkout, what is that?
Before long, Bob, Jeff's going to have me paying for this. Yep,
And
there you go.
so there if you don't have any at all and you want them all, then that'd probably be the cheapest way to go. So you say,
Home
give me the
automation
cheap.
ESP 8266.
Yeah, so that's going to give you the for you have to pay for one $18 book and then pay the $77, and then you get access to all of them. So anyway, and I agonized over it a lot because I went, do I really want these other ones? And I thought, well, if in my case, I'd bought enough already, and if I just buy like two more books, it's going to add up to that anyway. So I thought, well, since there were several I could use if I had them, I decided to go ahead and do it. And my experiment proved that yes, oh, there's a nice page right there. So that shows you. And I think there's a total of 13 of these in that. So there's 13, and I technically I already had three, and I bought one, so I've got an extra nine out of the deal for by saying give me all of them. So that's what it came out to be.
Lots of reading for you there,
Yep.
Jeff.
Yeah, and technically, some of these like where it says learn the LVGL. If you go to his free page, he's going to say, here's how you hook that thing up, and here's a sample for it. This just goes through more examples, and it basically ties everything together. So you don't have to stop and think, oh, it's right in the middle of that. Build web servers. That's the one they had on sale right now. And that's one that enticed me to get it because I thought, well, that might be handy. Because on that one, it's showing a picture of, if you scroll down a little bit, he's going to show like a bunch of cell phones hooked up to something and displaying stuff. And I thought, well, yeah, that picture right there. So that just kind of shows you, different things you could do with it. And I thought, well, that might be handy to have. Like right now, my logger that's running, I was thinking, well, if I had the right process, and I realized, oh, I do have an ESP32 on that. So technically, I could just drop this code in and say, show me what my plots are doing right now, and that might be a handy thing to have. So, but I'll probably just keep them on my virtual shelf and never look at them, just like everything else. And
Have you ever
over
done
there,
have you ever done that with an ESP32?
no, I haven't. I keep seeing that pop up, and I've never tried that to know what that does. Somebody's complaining, well, you got to worry about security issues on that, so you got to at least make sure you know what you're doing before you turn that on. And I can't remember what the deal was with that. So on your do you run that?
No is the simple answer. But if I found somebody who explained it, that definitely caught my eye because now I've got an ESP32 sitting out in my pump house with the LoRa connectivity, and if I have to reprogram it, I gotta go pull it out of the pump house.
Yeah. Now you might be able to walk up with a laptop and connect directly to the thing and then do this. I'm guessing if you go look at his free stuff, he might have a thing saying this is how you do that. Give you a quick example on it, so that might tell you whether or not you want to go down that path and try it or not. But so I'm thinking without buying this complete book, he may have it there, or yeah, I'm sure other people will tell you how to do it too. So
Are these guys? I mean, it's a man and a girl. Are they like? I thought they from the Philippines or someplace. Seems to me
maybe Spain. If you go to
Spain.
the about at the top, they keep bragging about everything they're doing, and clear at the top there it says about.
Yeah, I was just happened to move. Portugal,
Okay.
Por Porto, Portugal.
And quite frankly, I don't even know where Portugal is. I assume it's close to Spain since there's the language commonality there or whatever. So
One is Spanish, one is Portuguese.
yeah. But my point wasn't the Portuguese derived from Spanish or something? I think even you were telling us one time that they're similar but not the same. So
Yeah, very similar. I don't know if it was, I mean, they all come from Latin. I mean, French and Spanish, Portuguese all comes from Latin.
as opposed to American English, which is bastardized from everything, which I find annoying at times. But yeah, that's all I know, so I put up with it. So they give a big. If you go through this about thing, it talks about how they started it and what they do, and in fact, right there, that's how it started. And so anyway, that's that they got a pretty good write up on that if you really want to know who they are and what they do.
They do good work.
Oh, and then down at the bottom where it says year in review, those are handy to go through and kind of gives you a summary of everything that you might find if you dig through here long enough. I find it a little bit hard to to find anything on this site. It's one of those things where you know exactly what you want and you try to search for it and nothing shows up. Like for instance, the bundling of the ebooks. If I search for bundle, it gives you like 10 different entries, but they have nothing to do with the bundle of the ebooks. So that's a little bit weird the way that acts. So that's what I know about that.
Nice.
And back to my data logging, well, that still seems to be working, and I haven't really done anything more with it other than just let it create a log file every day, and then I can go plot them out and look at them. And back to my personal life. Well, I finally got my new lease signed, so I'm stuck here for another 14 months, because they of course you have to sign the lease 2 months ahead of time. So it's supposed to be another 14 months, but so this time next year I'm gonna have to get out, or you can sign up for a monthly lease, in which case it costs you $200 more per month, but then you can move out with 60-day notice, so you don't have to you're not stuck another full year on that. But anyway, the lease was again kind of what I expected, where I keep saying they just have a bunch of part-time real estate agents sitting around that don't really know what they're doing, and they send me an email saying, "Here, go out to DocuSign, no, go out to Dropbox and go do the hello sign or something," and that didn't make as much sense as I expected it to, and they said, "Oh, it's got to be done by the 31st, or then we're going to automatically renew it, and it's going to cost a lot more." So I went in to do it, and then realized, oh, I can't get in, and I can't figure out how it works, and so I finally got it down to the point where I thought it was signed, and then it's saying, "Oh, here's now upload files." I thought, well, how do I do that? I couldn't figure out how to do that. It turns out I didn't have to upload anything once I went through the steps and said I clicked the two things, say I want to sign this. Another page came up and says, "Are you sure?" or something like that. And once I clicked that, I think that technically signed it, and then nobody. I even sent them an email. So, did this go through? I don't see that this worked. And it turns out they had sent me a thing saying that it had been signed, and but I was still trying to get logged back in and fighting with the passwords and everything. So I didn't even notice that had come out. So I sent something, said, "Well, did this go through? I don't know if it worked or not." And they never responded, period. But then like the next day it said, "Oh, well, it has been completely signed because somebody at their end went through and did it." And so that's kind of what I expect, and just one of those things. Getting back to my pathetic life, and one of these days I'll have to decide what I want to do in life. Well, that's all I got for this week, I guess. Anybody else have
I'm,
anything else?
I'm all set.
Not me.